Fog Racing back again with Season 3 of F1 Manager 22. And we've got new engineers, we've new people in charge, but we still have the same driver lineup. We've got Carlos Sainz, we've got Charles Leclerc, we've got Oscar Piastri. We are looking to close that gap to Red Bull. We're looking to win more races, and most importantly, we're looking to win the championship back. Can we though? We've put a shit ton of upgrades on this car. I'm praying for something. Only time will tell. But as you can see, Q2 results, Red Bull on top, us 11th and 14th. It doesn't exactly fill you with confidence, those sort of results. So yeah, but in terms of this season, it looks like Aston Martin are pretty shite as per usual. Alfa Romeo look like they've took a step back. Hamilton, of course, is in Haas, which is just a fucking very weird move. But McLaren looks like they've took a step forward or two. But it's the 5 red lights as they're ready to go out. We've got Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, Alpine, Haas, Ferrari, AlphaTauri. We're all looking to get wins. But Lewis Hamilton there in his Haas, don't understand what the fuck is he doing joining that team. But Verstappen, Perez, can Perez take the fight to Verstappen this season? Only time will tell, but the cars are all bunching up here as we go through the first couple of corners. Sainz stuck behind Vettel, Leclerc stuck behind Hamilton. I will just never get used to Lewis Hamilton being stuck in there, but someone has spun and it's already created a gap, and it's Max Verstappen. It's dropped down to P6, he's up to P5 now as we move on to lap 14. As you can see, Carlos Sainz sits in 14th with Leclerc sitting in P11. And at this point, it's like, well, what the fuck do? You kind of just stuck in a train. Thankfully, Alonso's leading the race. And it's only a 10-second gap. So, if you pit early, which we're going to do with Carlos Sainz, hopefully we can get the job done and move him onto a 2-stopper and just put Leclerc onto a 1-stopper. So we're going to pit Carlos Sainz and he comes out there and hopefully he can put a big dent into these guys. But as you can see, people come in that lap, which is kind of just depressing because it kind of just fucking undermined the entire tactic we were going for with Carlos Sainz. But Leclerc's moved up to P6. Got a yellow in sector 1. I believe someone has spun there, but who can we beat out of the pit lane? Come on. And as you can see, Sainz actually moved quite a decent way up the field there with that tactic. As you can see, Leclerc though leads the race for Yuki Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher. After qualifying, no one really would have predicted that podium. Of course, it's not going to be that podium for long because Perez, Norris, Gasly, Alonso, Verstappen, even Sainz is included in this battle. We're all going to get stuck into these leading guys, but as you can see, the rest of the guys have pitted 5 laps later. Perez, Norris, Verstappen, Gasly, Sainz, we've all caught up to the back of Leclerc. Norris almost takes out Sergio Perez as Leclerc is now going to trickle into the pit lane for his 1-stopper while the rest of these guys are on a 2-stopper. So hopefully Leclerc can still salvage some points, but the quality pace just wasn't there. But in the race, Sainz is there and you can't dispute that. He's definitely there, he's definitely in the hunt, and hopefully he can get the job done. But Lewis Hamilton locks up in his Haas and it's a disaster for Lewis Hamilton. Not good at all. As you can see, Ferrari though moving on to lap 41 with pitted Sainz for his 2-stop. He came up quite a lot behind. He's behind Danny Rick there in the Alfa Romeo. Russell has managed to sneak past Sainz though, moving his way through the field. He's got Alonso, Gasly ahead of him, but it kind of just looks like that Verstappen's won this race, which is a bit disgraceful as Leclerc is nowhere to be seen. He's just stuck in a shit ton of traffic. We decided to pit him because the hard tyre just wasn't working out. Sainz overtakes Alonso into turn 1. Verstappen's pulling a gap with a spin from an AlphaTauri. It looks like, there's multiple cars. They're just piling into the first ever red flag has been brought out here in F1 Manager 22. It took the season 3 to get it, but what a monumental pileup we've had there. And as you can see, we've got the Mercedes behind the AlphaTauri, and I don't know what happens. He just kind of rejoins, and then his teammate rams him. Vettel rams him, and as you see, here is the grid for essentially a 3-lap sprint race. We've got Verstappen leading from Gasly, Perez, ourselves, Alonso's in there. We've got Norris, Bottas, Vettel's got that penalty, so realistically he's probably not going to get any points in this race. Hamilton sitting 12th in the Haas, but as you can see, Perez has actually leapfrogged a lot of these guys, but Gasly fights his way back through. Norris fighting with Ricardo. Sainz does a wee undercut, does the switcheroo on Alonso, the manoeuvre that Alonso loves doing. But we're on to lap 56, so essentially just 2 laps to go here. But Perez on the final lap overtakes Max Verstappen Sainz and Gasly battle for the final podium position, but as we go across the line, it is Sergio Perez winning the Bahrain Grand Prix from Verstappen, Gasly, Sainz, Alonso, Bottas, Norris, Ricciardo. I believe Vettel's going to drop out the points here with his penalty. Or is he? Or is he, man? Hamilton doesn't get points for Haas in his first race, and Leclerc finishes last of the running cars. It's a decent race for Sainz, but an absolutely abysmal turnout for Charles Leclerc. And as you can see, yes, he does drop out the points, so that puts us fourth. But Red Bull, for the second season running, look like they've no one to battle for the first in the constructors and the drivers. McLaren literally looked like the second fastest car, which is weird. And we are kind of just in no man's land. But anyway, till next time, that'll do it for Bahrain. Next up, Saudi Arabia. Peace.